program is The Active Center. It's created by David Sappe.
Pronounced Seppi.
Pronounced Seppi.
Okay, so picture this. You've got a city in Southern California facing a massive financial crisis. But right next door, a $4 billion entertainment district is literally being built from the ground up. It's a real-life tale of two cities, separated by a single street. So today, we're asking a pretty big question. Can a booming neighbor actually rescue a city that's on the brink? And this is really the heart of the whole thing. We're looking at the City of Orange, which is staring down a potential $40 million debt, and wondering if this massive new project, OC Vibe, in the next town over can be its financial lifeline. Is that even possible? All right, first up, let's really wrap our heads around the scale of the problem. Just how serious is the money situation for the City of Orange? This is the number that has city officials really worried. I mean, projections are showing that if some major changes aren't made, Orange could be looking at a debt of over $40 million by 2031. For a city this size, that is a staggering figure. And you know, this isn't some abstract problem way off in the future. To balance its budget for this year, the city is already making some really painful cuts. We're talking about freezing jobs, cutting part-time staff in half, slashing overtime for essential services. They're even putting off buying new vehicles. These are tough decisions that you can feel on the street level. Now, while Orange is tightening its belt, something absolutely massive is going up right on its border. Let's talk about Anaheim's $4 billion neighbor. Meet OC Vibe. It's a $4 billion, 100-acre entertainment district taking shape right now in Anaheim. It's going to start opening in phases in 2026, and it's just this huge symbol of investment and a massive bet on future growth for the whole region. So what exactly is inside this thing? Well, a lot. More than 30 new restaurants, a gigantic food hall, 2 brand new hotels, a concert venue, tons and tons of shopping. The idea is to create a complete live, work, play, and stay kind of place. It's basically an all-in-one entertainment ecosystem. So, if you're the City of Orange staring at your budget spreadsheets, the huge question is this giant new neighbor a helpful friend who's going to lift you up, or is it a powerful foe who's going to pull all the business away? And it's complicated, you know? On one hand, you've got direct competition. Of course you do. OC Vibe's hotels and restaurants are going after the very same tourist dollars as businesses in Orange. But on the other hand, there's this potential for synergy. With millions of people flocking to OC Vibe, maybe some of them will spill over and explore what Orange has to offer, especially its historic downtown. That's an authentic vibe the new development just can't manufacture. Okay, let's dig into that spillover idea, because it sounds good in theory, but can the sheer number of visitors to OC Vibe actually make a real meaningful financial difference for Orange? Let's actually run the numbers. This is the key figure. OC Vibe is expected to pull in 9 million visitors every single year. That is just a massive amount of foot traffic right on Orange's doorstep. So some economic analysts ran a super conservative scenario. They said, okay, what if just 5%, a tiny fraction of those 9 million visitors, decided to make a quick stop in Orange? You know, maybe for gas or a quick bite to eat or a small purchase. We're talking about 450,000 people. So let's follow the money here. If those 450,000 people each spend just a modest $25, that's over $11 million in new sales. Now, at the city's 1% sales tax rate, that translates to about $112,500 in new annual tax revenue for Orange. And here's where it gets real. This chart puts it all into perspective. That potential $112,500 in new revenue is completely dwarfed by the city's potential $40 million debt. It's a classic drop in the bucket. I mean, it's a welcome drop for sure, but it's not a solution. Not even close. So if OC Vibe isn't the financial savior everyone might have hoped for, what is the City of Orange actually doing to solve this crisis on its own? Well, a big part of the problem was the city's reputation. As this quote from city officials highlights, Orange was seen by many as a closed-for-business town. That perception made developers hesitant to invest, which, stifled new tax revenue and just made the budget crisis worse. So that had to change. The very first step was basically financial triage. The city had to stop the bleeding, and they had to do it immediately. And that meant these deep, short-term cuts, merging departments, freezing hiring, slashing overtime, anything to balance the books for the time being. But you can't cut your way to prosperity, right? Cutting alone is not a long-term solution. The real goal has to be growth. So Orange is now actively trying to become more business-friendly. They're reforming rules to attract new businesses and exploring major partnerships with local giants like Disney and Chapman University to build sustainable long-term revenue streams. So, where does this all leave us? What does the future look like for these two neighboring cities? One that's booming with this incredible new development, and the other that's fighting for its financial life. When you boil it all down, the ultimate takeaway seems pretty clear. A massive project like OC Vibe can be a fantastic asset for an entire region. Absolutely. It can lift everyone's profile. But at the end of the day, it's not a magic bullet. Each city is still the master of its own financial destiny, and they have to do the hard work of balancing their own books. And that leaves us with this final, really thought-provoking question that goes way beyond just Orange and Anaheim. In an era where our cities and suburbs are more connected than ever, what does true collaboration actually look like? How do we build regions where the success of one city truly and substantially lifts up its neighbors? It's a huge challenge, and it's one that cities everywhere are facing right now.